mean, how far are you willing to go? I mean, you're talking about us getting together and going to get Botox. The actual fucking fuck of house and mobile homes are going on here.
Right.
Blocked. Thank you for your $1.99. You're blocked.
Right.
People fucking talking. You know how to turn your phone on. Look, stop. There you go. See those buttons on the side.
I understand that. Just wanting some peace of mind. Like, I don't want anybody knowing who I am, where I've gone, you know?
This ain't build a bitch. You don't get to pick and choose the finesse and bigger boobs. If my eyes are brown or blue, this ain't build a bitch. I'm filled with flaws and attitude. So if you need perfect, I'm not built for you. Bob the builder broke my heart. Told me I need fixing. Said that I'm just nuts and bolts. All the parts are missing. Love you like a cruciform. Virgin, I'm a fixing. That's the kind of girl he wants. But he forgot. This ain't build a bitch. You don't get to pick and choose the finesse and bigger boobs. If my eyes are brown or blue, this ain't build a bitch. Filled with flaws and attitudes. So if you need perfect, I'm not built for you. 2, 3, go. La 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 la. La 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 la. Boys are always playing golf, looking for their Barbie. They don't look like Ken at all, hardly have a heartbeat. Need someone who falls apart. He can play Prince Charming. That's the kind of girl he wants. Then he forgot. This ain't build a bitch. You don't get to pick and choose the finesse and bigger boobs. If my eyes are brown or blue, this ain't build a bitch. Filled with flaws and attitudes. So if you need perfect, I'm not built for you. 2, 3, go. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Hey guys, so yesterday I had a pretty good day, but I wanted to work on a few other things and we didn't stream. Today we're going to get back to it, which is good because it gives us another, it gave us a little bit of time that we needed, especially with some things I was hearing. And then I kind of see something when I start getting some messages out of the blue. I'm not going to make you wait for the news. I want to give you the news. So let me just shrink a little. There we go. Let's go a little lower. Much better. Let me give you a little bit of, you know, what we've got coming in, what I've heard before I even saw this. Turns out, before Molly even made a post on Patreon that, wait, Wheezy says Molly blocked me yesterday after I asked about reporting. Good. One less hateful, ugly, stupid video on my computer. No loss. There, well, wait, Wheezy, you're welcome to hang here. I hope you might have some fun and you hang here. I think we'd like you to hang at least. So, you know, stop on by. We'd love to have you. And while you're here, hit the like button. But basically, for those of you that may not know what's going on, there was a meeting that I had been given forewarning about, and I didn't really believe him when I first was told about this. And it was a Trag pimp emergency meeting. Well, we have our own kind of meetings. And when we have an emergency, when something big happens in a story, we call it a meme emergency. You know, like an emergency with an M in front of it, meme emergency. It's a funny way to kind of joke about the fact that something big happened, right? Well, the tragedy pimps weren't meeting for fun reasons. They were meeting because one of their own had been reviewed by YouTube. One of the tragedy pimps had been reviewed by YouTube. Glad to have you, Easy. Glad to have you. Now that's big because remember when I reached out to YouTube, oh man, months ago. It would have been about a month after she doxed me on that stream where she told everybody she wanted her little, mobster squad, her fake mobster squad, to go out and try to find everything they could about me. And they tried to attack me and lie about me once they realized that they weren't going to find anything to put out about me, and they weren't making me nervous. And then after that, they moved on and targeted other people. But do I think it's related to anything I sent in? I guess it could be, because a lot of you guys did send in things too. I think what's happened is that a lot has been the fact that so many people have been paying attention to what's going on has finally caught up with the tragedy pimps. Now, the thing is, it wasn't Molly. At least we don't know that it was Molly yet. It was Dolly Vision. Dolly Vision, basically, the people that were members of Dolly's channel started chattering about how Dolly had lost, he got emails sent to all of their members saying that Dolly lost monetization and all of the memberships on Dolly's channel would be being refunded. They were being held and then they were being refunded. Is that Cheesy in the house? Hey, Cheesy. Make sure you guys are subbed to Kelly and Cheesy and Forgotten Whispers and Nonsense and everybody, of course. Good to see you, Cheesy. So now the thing is, you look at something like that happening and it does kind of give us a little bit of information. And though it then kind of verified what I'd already been communicated, that there was a emergency in the Trag pimp community. And I mean, between the actual Trag pimps. And you'd think, they all know that they're breaking YouTube's terms of service just by the way they do their content, just by how they do content. And they exist on the line of hoping that YouTube won't step in or that they can stay under YouTube's radar. So when one of their own is having their monetization completely ripped away, it's a big deal. Because the other Trag pimps, the first thing that goes through their mind is, am I next? That's what the Trag pimps are going to say. Now, this is why I always give you guys the advice, do not allow yourself to let what happened to Michelle happen to you if you start to upload content. Just worry about yourself. Go read the rules, follow the rules, and don't break the rules on YouTube. Because what's the purpose? What's the sense? It'd be like if you opened a business and decided that the business was going to start selling crack on the right in front of the cash register, right in public to everybody, or even behind the scenes. But you get me. It's like, why are you going to do this? Everybody can see you doing this. People are going to get upset because they're not going to like people ODing on this stuff or losing all their money for this stuff or getting poisoned by this stuff. People are going to call the cops. You're going to get in trouble. And you just want to not allow yourself to get caught up and allow them in some argument you have with them to make you nervous. Because if you're nervous, you're not going to be able to put out any good content. You're not going to be able to do what you need to do for your people. But back to the tragedy pimp group, the tragedy squad. This is major. This is big. And we even have a post from Molly addressing the suspension of Dolly. Now, she lies or she's not honest, because I know all about this. For those of you who don't know why I know all about this stuff, I'm not going to bore you by talking about my main channel because you guys already know what happened with my main channel. I didn't lose my monetization or anything. I just was one of the tens of thousands of channels who had to deal with demonetization when it first happened, a bunch of our videos being hit. So what I started to do when I went to UNIROCK2 and I got everything worked out with my channel, my main channel, I decided that I was going to start helping other YouTubers for a good 2 years because I got in contact with YouTube. I got some things worked out, and I decided that I would take this little, like, me knowing what to do in the situation and help other YouTubers. And so I would put out videos, or I would, if I saw a YouTuber claiming to have a problem, I would, you know, reach out to him and I would try to help him. And we've got a lot, we effectively got a lot of people fixed when they had an issue back then. Now, this is back in 2018 and 2019, but anyway. Now, this is why I know about how demonetization, losing monetization, and all of this works. This is how I know about it, okay? So what I'm going to do is apply what I know about this topic to what the tragedy pimps are trying to tell people. Now, if you have a video, or if you have any information on this, more than what I'm talking about, make sure my mods know where it is. And mods, if you'll put it in the bottom of general, it'd really help me out. And we do have a lot of other stuff to look at, like usual. I know I'm live early. I'm live early because I want to be. You guys, 2 days ago when I streamed last, some of you guys donated and stuff to me. And I really appreciate you for doing that. If anyone wants to, I'm going to put the links in the chat, pin it to the top. I just realized I hadn't done that yet. And because once I found out about this and I started to look at the things that I had been sent and the things that people were telling me, the stuff in some of the Discord rooms and other things, I realized there's some stuff going down. There is some stuff going down. Now, there are people out there who claim that I can't read to you or commentate on this because it was posted on Patreon by Molly. That's a lie. If something being put behind a paywall made that thing untouchable by fair use, then everything out there would be untouchable by fair use, right? People can use fair use to critique books, to critique movies, to critique TV shows. I'm sure you've seen thousands of YouTubers who do all of those things. So no, posting something behind the paywall on Patreon does not violate fair use immediately, especially if it's transformative and if it falls under the other main tenets of fair use. More than that, though, I always respect the fact that certain things are posted behind Patreon. Now, me reading this to you is not going to affect Molly's Patreon. It's not like, this is why these people need to actually study fair use. And they don't need to study it like a lawyer. They just need to read it, understand it, maybe talk to somebody who knows what they're talking about before they open their mouths. Because I am perfectly able to report this to you, especially when there are issues with it, when there are lies with it, okay? Now, I need to turn my heat off because now I'm getting hot. I was cold, now I'm getting hot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that while we run this intro. So this is 3/8 of 2023, and just so all of you know, before you come in, so I'm not clickbaiting you, the big news is that certain tragedy pimps, well, all of the tragedy pimps had a panic-driven, scared, terrified meeting because one of their own has been investigated. The investigation by YouTube has started against them, and YouTube found enough information in the first look at this channel to completely demonetize the entire channel. And because of this happening, tragedy pimps are trying to make excuses and tell people what is going on. And of course, I'm going to actually break it down for you in reality as opposed to their fiction right now. Broadcasting from the East Coast of the glorious United States of America. I'm not even going to do the rest of the intro. This is UNIROCK Live. Let's go. Oh, I'll clickbait you, baby. You got me today, Tom, because I watched your Transformers video, the one that had or maybe it wasn't Transformers, it had 50,000 views. You know, that big video that you have on your channel, I watched it, and it was really good. get started, not only do I not want to clickbait you, I do not want to e-beg you. So, just know that when I share my pay link in the chat, it is completely optional. This is to support my show. To anyone that donated a few days ago, thank you so much. I actually was able to pay a bill because of the amount of money you guys sent in, which never happens. So if anybody else wants to, through this stream, consider the ways at the bottom of the chat, paypal.me/unirock and #unirock on Cash App. Though, if you want to do it any other way, that's fine too. And let's go ahead and jump into what we've got here. So before I give you my thoughts on this, I'm going to show you what Molly said. And then I want to see if my mods find anything else. Let me tag them really quick. If you have anything else on this, drop it here, please. So the first thing I want to say when discussing anybody losing YouTube monetization or having their channel deleted, I want to say that I'm against censorship. I am against censorship. I don't like censorship. Does that mean that I think that someone breaking YouTube's rules in an egregious way is wrong for YouTube to act? Not every time. Sometimes I think that it's wrong, but other times I don't. It depends on the circumstances. It's a very, it's not a cut and dry black and white situation, but with this situation, I think that we're all on the same page. If you're going to dox people, if you're going to harass them and go after their families, if you're going to break those rules that are there to protect the viewers, if you're going to use financial data to dox and attack, or to try and any of the things that fall under the egregious umbrella, yes, you should probably lose your channel and lose monetization, right? Especially when it's right out in the open. It's very provable because a lot of people do this stuff. Hey, Sky, thank you. Oh, yeah, I love it. It looks like a little cup of coffee. I love it. Especially when it's done right out in the open. A lot of creators that do this stuff do it behind the scenes, and it's a detrimental thing for them to have proof of it out there. But when it comes to tragedy pimps and the people who they hang out with, we all know that they all support each other doing this stuff, so there won't be sympathy from me in that respect. Feel me? Just so that we're off here in the beginning. And when it happens in other situations, you typically will get sympathy from me. So Molly posts this. This is pretty fresh, but like I said, when I think from the information I got, I'm not saying it's true. I've been telling you since the start of this stream, this is what I was told. So take it as if this was told to me. I'm not making the claim. I'm passing along what I was told. A few hours before a lot of people on the internet had found out that this had happened, Molly and other tragedy pimps met up in an emergency, calling each other's cell phones, flipping out, screaming and yelling, panicky, you know, peeing their pants, doing the stanky leg out of a Ashley Furniture store, trying to get the pee-pee off their socks kind of thing in panic. Okay? I know I'm trying to be a little silly here just because I have to be silly, but you get me. They weren't feeling silly when they met up to talk about this, according to my source. According to my source, they were literally like screaming at each other. They were panicking. It was like from a movie where these guys are like stealing all this money from this corporation that they work for, and then all of a sudden they found out that the corporation knows someone's stealing money, right? Cherie says, send positive vibes to Ozzy Trish for her mom. She had surgery for a broken hip. Oh my goodness, definitely will, Cherie. Yeah, and make sure that you let Ozzy Trisha know to reach out to me if she needs anything, okay? But I definitely will. Okay, so it says Dolly. OMG, what happened with Dolly? What happened with Dolly? What happened with Dolly? What happened? Well, how about JLR doxing a woman viciously, getting the wrong woman? This just happened. I haven't even got a chance to talk to you about this. This is since my last stream. Getting the wrong woman and viciously harassing an innocent woman's family, children, and other family members because the Trag Pimp squad thought that they had someone who did nothing but truthfully talk about what had happened. So they did a video that was really good, very well sourced. and just a good video. And we're going to look at this. It's Deets on the Streets. But anyway, I shared something about this on my community tab, I think. I meant to, at least. I might have been too tired or something if it was in the middle of the night, though, or if it was early in the morning. So I think I remember accomplishing that. Do you guys know how I am sometimes when I'm trying to share some stuff and I'm like half asleep? So, but yeah, I was livid last night. It was factual. Yes, Running Bear. It's absolutely factual. Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that he didn't actually dox the YouTuber. I'm sure he did. It's just that in his quest to dox the YouTuber, he ended up doxing innocent people and just causing a lot of, damage. He should go to jail for what he did, honestly. He should lose his channel and in monetization. I hope to God Deets on the Streets does something about this, goes to the police immediately and protects themselves. It's just filing a report. That's all you got to do. You know, you can file the report as someone who is being stalked by this maniac. He is stalking this person because they made a video telling the truth about him. But anyway, so when Molly says, oh my God, what happened with a tragedy pimp? Immediately, I'm like, what are you talking about, Molly? What do you mean what happened? Like, if you lose your channel all of a sudden, you're going to know it's because of all the people you've been doxing, harassing, and lying on. You're just going to know that immediately. Word on the streets that he's in a pickle with YouTube. Actually, the word on the streets, and it's funny that she says word on the streets. This is just another little ploy from Molly. She's involved with JLR, and she's involved with Betty. She's involved with these other people. She knows that Deets on the Streets has been viciously stalked by one of her friends. Word on the streets, you think you're funny. He is in a pickle with YouTube. It's not a pickle from what I've heard. So I don't know if you're just trying to make the situation a little lighter than usual. Anyone know? I don't watch him anymore. And everyone's saying I don't watch him anymore, but we're here for this. Lost monetization for 2 weeks. What do you mean he lost it for 2 weeks? That's not how that works. That is not how that works. Just so you know, they don't pull your monetization for 2 weeks. If they pull monetization to where they suspend your memberships, which I have evidence that that happened, I'm just saying, then you didn't lose it for 2 weeks. You may not be able to file an appeal for 2 weeks, but you already know what these people do. We already know what they support. YouTube, listen, I really do think some of the tragedy pimps have convinced themselves that YouTube doesn't mind what they're doing on YouTube. I really think that they've convinced themselves of this. Because they probably say, oh, there's no way YouTube doesn't know what we've been up to. YouTube does not know what you've been up to. It is an extremely small company compared to the enormous, gargantuan, universal size of the platform. Okay? I'm telling you, when YouTube finally does find out what's been going on, they're going to knock down the channels and permanently ban every tragedy pimp. I'm just saying. Why do you think I give them the advice that I do? Why do you think I sit here and I'm trying to tell them stop doing this now before it's too late? Because again, you don't get in trouble for the things you do on YouTube all the time right away. Sometimes it might take a month, 6 months, a year, or a couple years. So, I mean, is that what you really want? You really want all the work and time you put into this just a couple years down the road being ripped away from you? So somebody else says YouTube said that he violated terms of service, demonetized his channel, paused everyone's memberships. He appealed and said it could take up to 30 days. So he's moving things to his Jimmy Jams Dolly Vision 2 channel. He's not allowed to move to Dolly Vision 2, just so you know. If he goes there and he ends up having people report that, he's just going to lose it there too. He should stay on his channel if he feels that it's an error and that they're going to, you know, it could take up to 30 days. Where have you been? What? Up to 30 days? Where does that number come from? I would be shocked if YouTube even starts looking at it in the first 30 days. Do you know how many people this happens to? Do you know the line that's waiting for YouTube to respond? I just don't believe this stuff. I don't know where they get it, but... And then one of the other people that, I'm not going to show you the stuff they're saying, but one of the other things that some of the people that are responding to Molly says is, I got sent a notice. My membership was paused. No explanation why. I've not watched him in a while. So there you go. There you go with some of the, let's say, claims, people out there talking about this, all right? So not only was it posted by the YouTuber, a YouTuber that's very close to the other YouTuber, not only did people in the comment section come in and confirm it, others, while they were looking at the post and talking about this, got a notification and realized, oh, I've been sent the email too. So this did happen. So what do I think happened? Well, it doesn't matter what I think happened because I don't really follow him that much. You would probably know what happened more than I know what happened specifically. But I'm going to tell you, I think I already know what happened from a non-specific. YouTube has caught up with a tragedy pimp. YouTube is starting to look at the tragedy pimps. This is the beginning. This is what I've been warning the tragedy pimps about since I first realized what they were doing. What was it, 8 months ago, 6 months ago? When I first commentated on what these people were doing, that all of the advice I've given them, all of the warnings I've given them was so that this didn't happen. This is the beginning. What are you talking about? Acting as if this is something like, well, we know what Dolly gets up to. You know, I've gotten told a lot of stuff. I'm not even going to repeat a lot of it right here unless you guys want to tell me in the chat, just because I haven't looked into it. So I'm not going to repeat it right now. I might in the future. But I don't think Dolly's going to be getting his YouTube partnership back anytime soon. Again, the terms of service of YouTube, the things that you can violate to get a strike or to get yourself banned, are very lax compared to the terms of service with the contract we enter into with YouTube to be partners. Our partner contract places an enormous amount more of expectation from us than just the basic rules of YouTube, okay? Dolly is only worried about his revenue stream. Does 7-Eleven have any openings? Oh, he'll never go there. Oh, he'll never go there. The thing that shocks me, and I don't know, like I've told you a million times over, I don't know about Dolly, but if Molly was off of YouTube, she'd go find something that she would do to make the money, whether it be right or wrong. Whether it's right or wrong, she's going to find a way to make that money back, right? She ain't like most of us where we don't want to ever get in trouble and we do our best, even though we may fail here and there, you know, to do the right thing. They don't feel that way. They just look at money. They just see dollar signs and they want to get that bag, you know. He sells soap and t-shirts too. I would almost expect that, which is funny because what, Dre can't sell makeup, but Dolly can sell soap. And I could say a million things that I really don't need to say. You know, I don't need to be going there, to be honest, because it's just obvious stuff. Oh my gosh, I can never get my camera looking right during the day. And, you know, I haven't even got one of my stream shirts on. I'm sitting here wearing one of my army, one of my, like, you know, 15-year-old army shirts. So I'm not looking good today, guys, but I'm not looking good because my back is killing me, just so you know. But I'm okay. I'm doing all right. Soap equals gel. If only he knew how to read. Well, I mean, is there anything out there that kind of would say why this happened? Like, is there anything out there? If I look at Dolly's channel, all I see is a lot of tragedy pimping. But Dolly did a video talking about this. I guess we can listen to part of it. Now, you got to understand, he's wearing a Justice for Summer Wells t-shirt. Behind him, it says Stoner Avenue, Nugs. He's got a skateboard. So, you know, He might, if he can skate or if he used to skate, I'll at least, you know, give him plus 0.01 on the street credibility scale, unless he's faking.
Make sure you sub up the OG channel, Dolly Vision. That way, you know, we can still have our members and things like this. So you're not being billed if you're a member.
Listen, why, when you lose monetization, Dolly, you're only allowed to have one AdSense account. You are not allowed to have multiple. It is an egregious violation of YouTube to have multiple AdSense accounts so that you do not have multiple channels that you can pull money from. Also, what about like taxes and the trail of money you're making? If you have a different channel and it didn't also lose monetization, that would mean that you have your other channel's monetization in someone else's name, which doesn't make sense. Oh, I can skateboard. I'm not going to tell you I was good at it, but I know how to do it. I would do distance. I didn't do the tricks and everything. I used it as a form of transportation. Though, ever since I had my hip surgery, I can't skateboard anymore, obviously. So that's why I don't. It's just decoration. That's called being a poser. That's called being a bit of a poser. But I'm not saying he is. I don't know anything about this person at all. Nothing. All I know is that this caused a massive, terrified scare in the hearts of the Tragedy Pimp and crew. It really did. Yeah, I am kind of going off of information that was sent to me, but it was from multiple people. And this was being talked about around. This is getting around. And everybody is saying that Molly is scared. Betty is scared. The others are terrified. This is not my this is not my title. This is the title that's what I'm hearing from everybody. So I'm just saying.
Okay, they paused it. Right? It will continue in 30 days when they give it back to me. Okay.
That doesn't make sense. The only reason they would pause your monetization is for an investigation into what you've been doing. Okay. And let me say this one more time. The only reason that they would pause it is if they're doing an investigation. That is why I feel that maybe YouTube is starting to look at the Tragedy Pimps as a group. Because I don't know why him getting his monetization paused. I haven't heard about this, by the way. I haven't heard about this pausing of a temporary pause to the memberships. That's just what happens in the beginning when they've taken away your monetization from everyone else I've ever seen have this happen to them. I saw where he said he's moving to a different pond. I did not click on the video. This is what we're listening to right now. That pond is a different channel. It's really strange that he's admitting this on his main channel, because if YouTube finds out that he has multiple AdSense accounts and that his different channels are under other AdSense accounts, he could lose all of his AdSense accounts straight away just for that. So it's very strange. Hey, Katie, good to see you. It's very strange the way that, see, this is what gets me. I don't know if this is like him lying or if he's just telling the truth and YouTube did pause it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Every time anything happens with these people, it isn't normal. It doesn't fall under the previous examples of behavior that we have from YouTube. It doesn't happen like other things you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't happen like normal when these things happen. You would expect that they're either going to take away your monetization or they're going to leave you monetized until they have come to a conclusion, because that's a pretty big thing. They are really messing with your business by pausing monetization. Pausing. I've never heard of this, but by pausing it, they're really they know how damaging that can be to a business. They would rather just default to allowing you to be monetized for another week or two while they look into things than destroy your business model by doing this drastic measure That is unless they have concrete evidence, and I literally, I would have to guess. I would have to guess. BMV says, if he shut off monetization, do you think the email sent to the members would say he turned it off? No. I think that it's typical for your members at first to be told that monetization has been suspended, or monetization, their membership has been frozen or refunded or whatever. Like, it's just there. I've never heard of different types of losing memberships. I didn't know that YouTube would pause your memberships or unpause. It's either you have it or they take it away, right? If you've seen how nasty he is, you wouldn't buy his soap. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would. Anyway, I'm not talking about him. I don't know anything about him. I just, you know, when you're dealing with things as important as that, I probably would stick with a trusted source of some kind, you know? They all try to copyright strike people that make videos about them. You know, that will also get you to lose your monetization if you are improperly copy striking. This is why normal YouTubers don't do it. It will eventually catch up to you. You might, like, have you ever heard of the story of Acerthorn? You probably haven't. You're going to, because I'm going to start giving you guys what I think, and I know some of you guys know this stuff, but I know others don't. So I want to start bringing you stories that give examples of YouTube's rules and how they're applied, and what people have done in the past to try to get around them, or to try to, you know, I want to tell you what's happened in the past, because I think it'll really help people realize that they've been lied to by the likes of the tragedy pimps. Get me? I lost a gifted membership that got taken away due to a channel accidentally removed, and I got notified saying my gifted membership was no longer available. The paid ones got refunded. Yeah, see what I'm saying? This would mean that he didn't get... Now and again, listen, do you notice what Molly said? What I read to you that Molly said is that he lost it and that he has to reapply. And that's normal. This whole temporary thing is not normal. So there's just a lot of weirdness going on. And when there's weirdness going on, it's because someone isn't telling the truth. Oh, I'm confident that someone isn't telling the truth. Confident. I fell into an Acerthorn rabbit hole for a moment recently. If you search his name, the first video is the Fictitious or Vacacious Litigant. I don't know how to say that word. That's the best video to watch. It's very good. It breaks it all down. It's worth the watch. It's like people speeding. Eventually, they all get caught. Exactly. Exactly. I'll update you in just a minute, Melissa. I noticed more people are coming in, so I'm gonna update it in just a second. Is it some kind of scam to get members on his other channel? It can't be, because people did get notified. People did get notified. So you're asking if he went in and turned off memberships. That would be the dumbest thing he could ever do, ever. Yeah, it would just be, it's all negative. There would be no benefit. No benefit at all. So, yeah. Well, that's what I think is happening, Booty. I think that YouTube is starting to look at these guys. Oh, shit, son. Okay. I don't want to listen to any more of this than I have to. Let's hear another 10 seconds, I guess.
Or 15 days, or if they approve the appeal. Okay.
Well, see, hold on. If they approve the appeal, means that it isn't temporary. It means that... So basically, he's just admitted that it wasn't temporary. He's just admitted that. He's just admitted that. By what he just said... He's just admitted this wasn't what he originally said. So he did lose monetization, and he's appealed it. So it's not, there's no temporary anything unless he's trying to say it's temporary because my appeal will go through. And I disagree completely. Because you have to ask yourself, what is the reason that YouTube did this to me? Was it a mistake? And I'm telling you now, mistakes happen a lot with YouTube. Problem I have with Dolly is that because of things that they all do and get into. Okay, is there anything you know that he's done recently that he would have gotten in trouble for? Exactly, Nana, you're right. And he's just like, we have enough information now to conclude that he lost monetization on his channel, that it wasn't paused or anything like that. We do have enough information to say that. So he has lost it on that channel. And I'm just telling you, it's very brazen for him to admit on that channel that he has another monetized channel, because you don't get your channel demonetized. You get your account. You get your Adsense account. It affects your Adsense account. So this would mean he has multiple Adsense accounts, or he's put his channel under someone else's name or something, which is very weird for him to admit on his channel. He sent his subs after Savage's family. Do you know when that happened, Bam? Yeah, thank you, Cherie. If you guys can support my stream today, I'd love you for it. It'd be excellent. But I know a bunch of you supported me a few days ago, so you don't have to or anything. I'm just agreeing with what I just saw from Cherie. My moderator is shilling for me, and I'm like, yes, that would help immensely. Oh, guys, for those of you, remember I told you I had to have some x-rays. A bunch of you guys, you know, hit me up and tagged me or asked me in Discord. I get them all tomorrow, so I'll let you guys know as soon as I know anything. Really, they're just doing x-rays because I've been having back pain. It's nothing crazy, nothing to worry about. Okay? That'll be tomorrow. On Monday is my official like main appointment with the DAV. Also, for those of you that didn't hear me on my last stream, the DAV appointment with them, where they're going to sit down with me and confirm my DD214 is real, is Monday. So the first appointment, the main thing, the main start of the process is Monday. I've already told them what's going on. We had to schedule an appointment. I've had to see him once already, as you know. And what I'm hoping is that, and thank you. Someone sent 5 in. Appreciate you very much. You're too kind. That's Monday. So Thursday, which is tomorrow, I'll have information on, you know, stuff you guys asked me about. Monday, I'll let you guys know what's going on with the whole DAV thing, that LB and her husband have chosen not to attend with me through Zoom. But I will be asking if there's anything they'll do to help me with the fact that a YouTube channel with 70,000 subs has decided to use their business to vet bash me. That I will be directly letting the DAV know that this has happened, and asking them, telling them that I want to do everything in my power due to them doing that. So, hey, NJ Courts, good to see you. All right, let me start over because I know a lot of you just got here. Here we go. A lot of you are coming in and saying, "What's up?" Well, let's go. Let me tell you. All right. So if you want to see me read you from a community post, you'll have to rewind. Basically, I showed you guys a bit of a community post and proof that people who have been subscribed to one of the tragedy pimps and membership to one of the tragedy pimps has been notified that that tragedy pimp lost their monetization. They were notified that their memberships are, as one tragedy pimp has admitted, they have lost it and they have to appeal. They're appealing it The other tragedy pimp said both. They said it was appealed, then they said it was temporary. Now, my response was, there's no such thing as this temporary thing that I've ever heard of in this kind of situation. It just seems so weird that to say temporary on them deciding, like, if you can file an appeal already, then they've already made their decision, and you're just saying, I disagree with it, and here's why. Anyway, though, that had caused the tragedy pimps to fly into a panic, according to people around the tragedy pimps in their Patreon, in their servers, around their community. A lot of chattering was going on about them yelling at each other, about them fighting, about them panicking, about them acting very shocked, very scared that one of the tragedy pimps has gotten YouTube's attention. YouTube has looked at that channel and decided, you do not qualify for monetization. We are taking it from you. Now, only that channel would know the exact reason why. And I have not been told the reason. It almost seems like that channel is trying to keep it to themselves, the reason YouTube told them that this happened. Feel me? Are you following me? Are you with me, people? Because they should be telling us why. Now, people in the chat have informed me. Oh, shoot, hit the wrong button. People in the chat have informed me that this person sent his subscribers after Savage Media. Savage is very opinionated. I've seen some of Savage's clips. I've liked what I've seen. I hope Savage isn't a tragedy pimp. Tell me in the chat, is Savage cool? I think Savage is cool, right? I'm just trying to make sure I don't say the wrong thing and you guys flip out on me. No, Savage did this, but from everything I know, Savage is cool. And I know Savage makes fun of the tragedy pimp, so I'm going to say Savage is cool before you yell at me anyway, or before you correct me or agree with me, from what I know. Now, oh my God, you all, oh, Dead, I love you. I don't tell you enough how much I love you. So another issue has sprung up where Dolly and Jams TV have been petitioned to be removed from YouTube, and here is why. He has been using his platform to harass, threaten, and intimidate disabled children, homosexuals, African Americans for years. Multiple complaints have been made to YouTube. Police reports have been filed. He's been banned from YouTube and somehow got his channels back. Well, I think we know how he got his channels back, if that's true. Shucky says, I take responsibility. You do? Well, let me know what you mean, Shucky. Tell me. Type in the chat for me. Savage is cool. Okay, good. I thought so. I just didn't want to get in trouble today. Got a little backache going on today, so, you know, I'm a little distracted, but I'm making it. I had to go live to talk to you about this. We had to talk about this. I said, you know what? We'll do an early stream. Might even do a later on stream today. But we got stuff and things going down. We got stuff and things going down. Oh my God, Spackle, that's hilarious. I am a sucker for cat videos. Oh, there goes Molly. There goes Molly. What happens when Molly is actually meets someone face to face after talking smack to them for months? There she goes. Oh man. You know, I hate to say this, y'all, but even you can get demonetized. You can have your monetization taken away. Hey, Wonder Twin, thank you. You can get your monetization taken away for things as simple as clickbaiting, using improper tags, lying constantly, misinformation, constantly pushing misinformation, constantly clickbaiting tragedies. All of these things can cause you to lose your channel's monetization or your channel. And what we know about this group of people is that they do not fact check. In fact, they do the opposite. They will push anything they have to push if it can make them a dime, right? Egregiously even. Hey, Murdy, thank you. And good to see you. Good to see you. So, I mean, this is the first That's me too, self-proclaimed detective. Me too. So I'm not shocked that this is happening. To me, I thought that we would see it from Molly first. I think Molly is in line. I think all of the tragedy pimps are in line. Because when you see people start to be targeted by a group of people on YouTube, it'll typically have to hit a certain point. And when it hits that, it's like the point where it's too small for YouTube to know what's going on. And then it gets to a point where it's big enough for YouTube to actually be paying attention. And then it gets bigger to where YouTube obviously has to know something. And then eventually something like this happens. It's the first clue that YouTube has all of the reports, all of the petitions, all of the emails, all of the people reaching out, all of the police reports. Everything has been stacking up over at YouTube. And eventually, as they work through what it is that they have to do, facing this gargantuan-sized platform with a very small team of people, even though they have a large amount of people, compared to the size of the platform, it's a small amount of people. Eventually, this is what happens. They step in, and they typically will go with whoever it is they get the most reports on when they start to get into that community. Now, I don't know what Dolly's done to have a lot of, I don't know, does Dolly delete videos like Molly does? All of these things. I did on my last stream. I have not today, though. I have not today. Dolly, I think you're talking about Dolly. He must do things low key. I watch every live. He rarely mentions other creators, much less sending viewers to harass other creators. He doesn't even want chat mentioning others. Well, again, the kind of stuff that would have happened probably would have been a few months ago. Because when YouTube, either YouTube's going to get enough of a notification that they're going to do something right then. If they don't do something right away, then it might take a few months for them to actually get to the point of looking into what's going on. So I would think that because he wasn't acted upon a while ago, when I'd heard about a few things that were going on, that maybe that's caught up to him. And this is what you'll typically see happen. Like with the Latisha fundraiser, you would expect Molly to actually feel an effect from that 6 months to a year or two from when all this happened, if she's going to get any effect from it at all from YouTube. You would think she would, at the amount of people that she just openly and blatantly harassed and doxed using her platform. So, you know, I mean, it makes sense why Molly is scared. If she is, of course, because I've just been told this. I guess let me do a search of her name again. See if anything else comes up in the search or... She hasn't done anything since yesterday. She did that live stream on Dre McCrae, trying to make people think Dre had left social media when she didn't. Then she changed her title. And it looks like she did something about Aaron Carter after that. Looks like Queen Bee's live with an open panel. Hell yeah. What in the world? It looks like H.O. Williams, abbreviated Ho Williams, did one. Growing too big to perch alongside junk channels. No junkies. You do know what the word junkie means, right? H.O. Williams, abbreviated Ho Williams. Let's see if there's anything else that comes up here. Looks like she's doing something about Summer Wells yesterday, Molly did. Tragedy Pimps Exposed did a video begging part 2 with Molly and Justice for All. House of Williams 11 days ago. Never talk to Molly again. That big invented garbage. Oh, Molly Go, Everything Go Lightly's doing a premiere here at 3:15. So in about 50 minutes, 40 minutes. Yeah, I think she was on Everything Go Lightly last night. And she just did something related to Aaron Carter. I mean, of course, she probably did a bunch of other stuff too, so. Okay, yeah, nothing's coming up when I look for Molly. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't even understand how, with the titles this person uses and everything else, how they even have monetization at all. What the hell is he call them turtles for? I gotta go get me a damn vape. My vape just died. That never happens to me on stream. Never happens on stream. Telling you. Let's restrict it to the last week really quick. See if anything sticks out. Okay, we might have something from Joneson. Turtle Man said he violated the community guidelines. They're suspending membership for 15 to 30 days. He's appealing. I can't stay. I'm running with scissors as per. Hey, well, thank you, Tragic T. Good to see you too. Hope everything's going good. And that's the thing. YouTube doesn't suspend memberships for 15 to 30 days. What I think he's doing, I think he's had his monetization suspended. He's appealed it, and he thinks he's going to hear back from them within 15 to 30 days. So I think he's telling people that it's temporary. I've never seen anything like that happen. So, yeah. Well, Jada, that makes sense, because like when somebody, usually what'll happen with the channel, they'll end up breaking the rules for a long time, and then their channel starts to grow, or they may not make a lot of money at first, so they don't really care. But once they start making money or they get an audience watching, they'll try to clean their act up, and then whatever happened in the past ends up coming back to bite them in the ass. This is what I've been saying will happen to Molly eventually. If nothing happens before then with YouTube and her. Okay, so let's see.
Welcome to Joneson, where we go over trippy true crime and the.
So it looks like Joneson put out a video. Let's see what we got here. I will just skip through it and we'll see if there's anything.
For Tina. He's all about the money. Money, money, money. Dolly wants money. Dolly wants money. Give Dolly money. Give Dolly money. I guess. I used to say, give Dolly money. Now I'm like, Dolly, give me my goddamn money back, bitch. I want my damn money back, baby. All right, give me soap. I will make you some damn commercials. You'll have everybody going, Dolly Soap's the best crime channel forever and ever without ever damn shining. Hey, Jane, he pissed me off twice tonight. Tell me what he did. I have no idea about how your soap is. I'm afraid to order it. I'm afraid you're going to put poison in it and kill me and then talk about it on your true crime channel.
Justice Jane was commenting about it. She must not have known he was joking. I wonder what that means. He was joking.
Forever and ever without ever damn shining. Hey, Jane, he pissed me off twice tonight. Tell me what he did. Tell me, do tell. Let's gossip about Dolly. Dolly, we're going to gossip about you, darling, so you can listen to us gossip about you and give you free advertisement over here on Team Rose, the devoted idiot who's been paying you for 14, 15 months now. What do I get? Do I get a wrench? Hell no. Do I get treated well? Nope. Oh, poor Tina. Now she's going to get treated badly in the ranks of me and 3 Dumb Dave. Yeah, 3 Dumb Dave. We're all going to be treated like shit by Dolly, because we've been there too long. Because when you love Dolly, he treats you like shit. Jane says he was putting Paper Cut Tina's video on Patreon. Bitch! Asshole! For $10. When she finds out, she's going to regret that Dolly tattoo. Oh, Tina. Tina, darling, I'm not saying
I don't think you can upload somebody else's video to your Patreon either.
Addiction's ever going to go away. You ain't ever going to stop being addicted to Dolly. But let me tell you what, you just might be a little disappointed. Just be prepared, Dolly. Doll, he was kidding. Better be kidding. You should show the... They've all been pure shitty to Tina about her commercial. I know. Where she's really an actress. And Judy Garland is such a performer. She wants to give me, God, give Tina, okay? She's bringing, will donate, bitch. Put her fucking, Tina, you're an industry making him your god in a way, but then he's not nice to her. Jimmy, well, part of his humor, see, he doesn't understand. I always say, Jimmy, you're rude and it's part of your humor. He's like you when he says that, because it was saving my fucking heart from a deep, deep depression, and I was, oh my God, he's using her. He's using her like she's a trained SEAL. She needs her own channel, and we need to now making interest, okay? I don't need a lot of shirts.
I've been watching Kurt since you're live a couple of days. Me too. I've been getting studied back up because a bunch of you guys reached out and told us that you want me to do like a full video on the Kurt Cobain thing and a couple of the other topics I brought up. So, I'm getting ready. I'm getting back into the mindset. This is on Jones's channel. I just saw this come up when I did a quick search, so I don't know if it has anything to do with anything. What I'm looking for is just some kind of claim. Let me try this. And let's go with the last month. Nothing. Maybe if I take the video out from a week to a month on YouTube. Let's see, is there anything else here? Let me skip ahead and see what he says.
YouTube got all these crazy new rules that you got to follow.
No, YouTube does not have all these crazy new rules that you have to follow. It's pretty simple. The what you have to do when you go live, you can't dox or attack or do a lot of things that would be, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And when you do talk about someone else, you can't invade their privacy, which means if they want to put out, they have to be the one to choose that their full name or their address or whatever gets out there. Doesn't mean you can just go dig it up anywhere on the internet. Now you've found it, so it's not doxing. No, it's when you share things maliciously. YouTube looks at it as if it's, are you doing it out of maliciousness, or are you doing it to commentate, to give information, to educate as part of a video? Like, do I need to educate you to this person's full name or where this thing happened at so that you understand the context of the video? It's not just to educate. I can't just educate you on their full name. It's about the context. It's also about the intent. Is it malicious intent or is it normal? Well, to determine that, we could say, why do you need to say their name in this video? So you can dox somebody maliciously, even if you think you're being slick. So I'm just saying, it's not that hard. It's really not.
So we just...
Any idea what he's getting monetized wise via commercials, as he's doing great with Cash App and Super Chats? Yeah, these people make next to nothing when it comes to ad revenue. They make a good amount through memberships and Super Chats. Now, when they lose monetization, they're losing ad revenue, memberships, Super Chats, and they're losing access into the algorithm, preferred access into the algorithm a little bit. That doesn't mean that they can't still have access. They can, but you just have better access to the algorithm when you're monetized and when you're doing what you're supposed to do. So he'll still be able to get PayPal and Super Chats coming in, but he won't be able to use YouTube systems to be monetized. Now, if YouTube's going to demonetize you like this, it doesn't mean that you can just go in and share a PayPal link. Like, there are a lot of rules and there's a lot of things, you know, he needs to go in and actually sit down and read everything he's been sent from YouTube and not do things he's not supposed to do. But I don't think he's taking this seriously, is my opinion. It's just my opinion. Really, the reason that I really care about this more than anything is because what he does is very similar to what Molly Golightly and Betty and the other tragedy pimps do. So to see one of them facing repercussion from YouTube, it annihilates the assumption that a lot of us have that they just don't, YouTube is just letting them do this stuff. Because it's been my opinion that YouTube is broken, that they aren't getting the notifications from all the reports that are filed and from people being doxxed and people sending stuff into them, and that they're just bogged down to where their system's broken. And if their system is broken, that means they eventually will lose monetization, lose their channels. It's just going to happen later when YouTube can catch up to it. So I don't think that YouTube is, there's no way that YouTube puts out all the rules that they put out and then they just let these people break them so viciously. It's just not possible. So I think we're starting to see YouTube work its way into the tragedy pimp area. I really feel that way.
Just follow the rules. We abide by.
You do not follow the rules or abide by the rules. I don't know if you're saying for the last few weeks you do. You don't.
What they say,
no.
We do what they say. You know, that's all we can do. It ain't.
No, it's the way that you use children that have been through tragedies to get views. The way that you use tragic stories to get views is against YouTube's community guidelines. You can just go read the community guidelines. I'm not insulting anyone. I'm giving you the facts, okay? If you don't want to acknowledge that, if you want to act like it's not true, that's on you. I'm being real. I'm being real with you. The tragedy pimps, and that's all of them, are grossly violating YouTube's rules on misinformation, on manipulation of tragedies, manipulation of sensitive topics, and also I could go on. I could just go on and on and on. This isn't up for debate on whether that's happening or not. Whether you can skirt by doing it for a while is one question, but it's bound that a few of you, if not all of you, are eventually going to face the music. He sells products that he never sends out. That'll get you hit real quick. Oh, hey, Ellie. Gus is with a family member because he hasn't been doing too good. Yeah. Uh-oh. We got some info. And while all of you are here, please consider supporting me. Damn it. I just had it copied so I could paste it and then I freaking got rid of it or something. Please consider supporting me here. It's in the chat on PayPal or Cash App. It would help immensely, but it's optional. You guys, I just got hooked up with a video where we're supposed to be getting some information on this right now from Savage. All right. And I am subscribed to Savage. I like Savage. The skit Savage did where Savage is dressed up like a binder or something and someone else is like a fly swatter or something like that. It was hilarious though.
Crazy news is this. I woke up this morning and apparently YouTube hit me with some TOS violation, okay?
Of course. Now, another thing that people say Dolly does is file false strikes. So if that is true, he could be losing all of this simply because he strikes other people inappropriately.
Of course, you know, I'm going to appeal the violation. I don't quite understand what the violation is, but we're going over some things.
He just said, I'm going to appeal the violation. So I think that the reason you're hearing different information come out of him is because YouTube doesn't let you appeal for 15 days or a month. You can't appeal until then. Okay? So what I think is he hasn't been suspended. I think he's been taken out of it. I think he's lost the program. I think he's lost the program. And he's trying. Hey, Dumpy Dumps. How's the Humpity Humps doing? Sorry. Inside joke. Obviously, he plans on appealing or reapplying for monetization in 15 days or 30 days, and he's not being proper with what he's saying here.
We're appealing it. But it's nothing super.
He says we are appealing it. He just said he was going to. He's saying we are. You got to listen to the language being said.
Bad, okay?
I don't think he's been striking for a while, neither is BHB. And again, it doesn't matter what he's doing now. It matters what you do on your channel. So if I do something wrong a year ago and I just, 4 years later get to 100,000 subs, they might ban me then, or they might not allow me to have a play button, or they might take away monetization then, because YouTube sets up your channel to be a history for everything you do. No matter what you delete, no matter what you private, no matter what you take off your channel, YouTube has access to everything forever. YouTube saves the history, and they have realized if they wait until people hit 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, and they do a full review on those channels, it creates an enormous of a lesser workload on YouTube. For people that are under those numbers, those people that break the rules all the time, they'll get reported, and that's how YouTube handles them. For people that are skirting by the rules so that the system isn't catching them, and they make it up to 50, 80, 100K, YouTube is going to catch them when they hit those milestones. You see what I'm saying? So again, you got to remember, it's whatever you're doing. Don't allow yourself to use your channel to do messed up stuff and then start taking YouTube seriously on that channel, because you're just wasting everything.
Okay. So what they've done is they paused my membership. This is my...
See, this doesn't make sense, Dolly. You just said that you're going to appeal that it was taken from you. That if they paused it, then you wouldn't... That doesn't... Nothing that you're saying lines up. It only lines up if you did not. If you didn't. If you got demonetized is what I'm trying to say. If they took your monetization is the only way any of this makes sense. It's the only way. And that goes in line with people are reporting they're getting from YouTube who were members of this channel.
Punishment, okay? YouTube is punishing Daddy, okay? They say, we're going to pause your shit for the next 14 days.
That doesn't even make sense. They don't pause people for 14 or 15 days. They don't do that. They'll just take it away for that long.
30 days. So it could be 30 days that the memberships are paused, okay? So this channel cannot have members for 30 days. Plus, I've reached out to YouTube to try to clear this up, because I think this is just a computer mistake.
I'm telling you, Dolly, it's something you've done within the last 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months. I mean, there are people that claim to have clips of you being racist, claim to have clips of you doxing people that you've deleted from your channel. I'm not saying any of this happened, because again, I don't know what happened. I just know that what I just looked on YouTube and saw, and what I looked on the internet and saw, that's all I know.
And once I get a hold of a person, they'll clear all that shit up anyway, okay? Because it's something stupid. But anyway, we have our original channel, the OG channel, all right, which is now, of course, Dolly Vision. And if you notice, all my thumbnails have a little true crime tag on it. That is the thumbnail for the other channel. Of course, you can see PJ right here post it. Make sure you sub up the OG channel, Dolly Vision. That way, we can still have our members and things like this. So you're not being...
I cannot believe that you just admitted that your other channel is not attached to the same monetization as this channel. Because if YouTube finds out about that, they will not let you create an AdSense account ever again. It is a massive rule. You can't make multiple AdSense accounts. This is huge. And he just said he was shaming an SA victim. Oh, that was him. That was him. That was just like a month ago. Right? We covered that, didn't we? Didn't we cover that? That was him. Yes. Oh my God. I guarantee that's what it was. I guarantee that's what it was. Because that was big. That was a huge violation of YouTube's community guidelines. Yeah, I just didn't realize that was the same creator. That was an I remember saying back then that creator's gonna lose their shit. Y'all heard me say it. Y'all heard me say it. I said that creator's gonna lose monetization or their whole channel when I saw that shit. He was shaming a woman that was really hardcore, saying gross things about her, basically. And him and his friends like went after her and stuff, and his friends just straight admitted that they went out and did all this stuff. So I don't know how much YouTube's gotten from that situation, but I'm telling you. Yeah, and then Betty admitted that when she was going after her, she did it for him. He didn't stop her. He didn't tell her not to. You know, he didn't disavow. Listen, y'all. I know it sounds crazy, but if a YouTube creator goes live and they say, if it's someone you don't even know, you don't have to worry about it. But if it's someone that, like, okay, Navy. If Navy goes live tomorrow and he starts breaking terms of service, telling someone, shaming an SA or an R victim, and on his channel, and he says he's doing it for me and all this stuff, if I don't disavow that and I keep allowing him on my channel, yeah, I can get in trouble for that. That's a fact. So if Navy did that, because I would never tell him to do it, I would never approve him doing something like that, I would go to my channel. I'd tell people, I don't know why Navy's doing what he's doing, but I did not. Number one, I don't approve of it. Yada, yada, yada. I disavow it. And he's not coming on this channel until he fixes this, apologizes this. You get what I'm saying? This is why you don't allow yourself to be grouped with people that are doing things like that. It's why you take a stand. It's why you do what you need to do there, because you protect yourself. I say this all the time. You're protecting yourself just as much as you're saying what needs to be said, because anyone can claim anything. You have a responsibility if you are rubbing elbows with someone. Maybe not if it was a year ago or 5 years ago that you rubbed elbows with them, right? But at least when, you've got something like that, what happened with him and Betty, he should have told people that he does not support Betty doxing and attacking that lady and going after that lady. He should have said that, and he didn't. He let Betty sit and tell everybody that he had her do it, So it's not guilt by association if he approves of what she's doing, right? It really isn't. There's two different ways to look at this. It would be guilt by association if, let's say, that, what would be an example here? I guess, like, that's why I made the condition that it'd have to be someone like Navy who comes on my show all the time, or I'm constantly streaming with, or maybe I'll cut Navy off and he won't show up anymore when that happens. I don't even think that's good enough. I still think there is a guilt there. Not guilt by association, a straight guilt. You feel me? If he's doing something for me and people know that I support that person, I've had them on, I work with that person, people know that I'm willing to call anybody out, but all of a sudden I'm not going to call out the person who hangs with me, who works with me, when they go out, tell people that they're doing this to another person for this reason and that reason. You see, the reason why it's not guilt by association is because here on this platform, this is how a lot of people do these things. This is how a lot of them try to get away with, like, oh, I can't get up there and attack the person, so hey, Betty, you do it for me. And then Betty's so dumb, she ends up admitting that she's been told to do this, right? She ends up admitting that she's doing it for that person. And yes, there are certain there are certain scenarios where it would be guilt by association, and there are certain things that can take it beyond guilt by association into guilt, and that's what we're discussing right now. Guilt by association is more like saying you're not guilty and people are kind of fallaciously or incorrectly blaming you because of your association with someone, which insinuates that this person isn't guilty. That's not what I'm talking about. My advice when I saw what Betty was doing, when I'd seen certain, and by the way, there's a lot of other stuff out there around that situation that shows that Betty wasn't just acting on her own accord, right? Like, I could just give you some facts from what happened. She had intimate knowledge of what had happened that she could have only gained by speaking directly to him. That's when it goes beyond guilt by association, you feel me? And these are things people need to look for, because again, I don't care. I don't talk about Dolly Vision. I'm probably because Dolly Vision has been trying to do better. People have been saying Dolly's trying to do better. Okay, fine. Dolly's trying to do better. Okay, then why am I going to talk about Dolly unless there's a specific reason, right? That's why he only comes up extremely rarely if he does come up here. But in the same aspect, in the same respect, you know, if it is something like that, it would make sense. It would make perfect sense. But I even go a step further. I don't think it is, because I think that situation was extremely serious. I'm going to try not to use certain words because I'm on YouTube, something I never see any of these people do, right? They don't even care not to use certain words. They just go out and use any word. But in that situation, what happened was extremely serious. So I would expect YouTube would have acted back then in a serious situation like that. So yeah, it could either be why it happened. It could be a factor. I would almost most likely think it's the constant manipulation of the tragedies, of the tragic stories that these people cover. Right? The reality TV, reality drama, disrespect that they show while they're trying to cover a family who's grieving over, you know, this incredible tragedy. Look, back in 2017 is when YouTube updated one of their rules around tragedies, murmurs, R's, hurricanes, tornadoes, earthquakes, volcano eruptions, bus crashes that were like related to weather, things that are related to tragic events, to where you cannot clickbait using an event like that, or a booming, a pow-powing. You feel me? You can't clickbait. You can't be. They also change their rules to where you can't do comedy. You can't do comedy routines or extreme comedy routines. You can't make fun of someone. You can't target someone over these things, right? And yes, murmurs and R's and SAs, all these things fall under that umbrella. Feel me? Izzy, exactly. Yes. YouTube is extremely strict straight out the gate. Like, it takes so much. I will work. One of the main reasons why, you guys know, every day I would upload a video where it would take me many hours of editing and recording and scripting to make those videos. And I stopped putting as much work into those videos, getting them out all the time. One of the main reasons was because YouTube would demonetize those videos over the dumbest, tiniest little things. Now, I know that YouTube has made leaps and bounds to fix that, but that's one of the main reasons why I stopped. That's one of the main reasons why I, you know, tried to move away from that. You go out and you see the way Molly is in relation, not in general. These people want to do these comedy routines. If they want to have these drama fights, again, that's allowed on the platform. You aren't allowed to have those kind of fights or those kind of targeting, the kind of lies, the kind of misinformation around a murmur or around a tragedy. Feel me? You can't combine, because this is what they're doing. This is what makes their content, I don't know what you'd say, inappropriate or against the rules or wrong or whatever. It's that they're using the tragedy for clickbait, and then they're keeping an audience by the drama, keeping an audience through the inappropriate, disrespectful behavior, acting extreme, acting crazy, which is the definition of disrespecting that tragedy. It's the definition. Again, do I think YouTube should have made the rules that they made, the rule changes they made back then? It's not up to me to have that opinion. YouTube did it. They told us this, and they deleted the content where people clickbaited around tragedies and murders and things like this. They also made sweeping changes to where people get demonetized for doing these things also. So the whole tragedy pimping group, the whole group of them, do they ever explain why they will allow themselves to get so nasty, disgusting, so crude, so judgmental, so rumor milly around a murmur, around a Summer Wells, around a missing kid, right? Because they want to eat their cake. They want to have their cake and eat it too. You feel me? They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be able to be as vile and disgusting and based with rumors and going after family members of people while they're mourning and all these things. But at the same time, they want to say that they're being respectful to the subject. They're not. They're being respectful to the missing kid. They're being respectful. Betty goes out and gets in a fight and spits on some dude's vehicle, trying to spit on him while she's in Idaho covering the Idaho case, right? But yet she wants to claim that she is a part of the media. She's a media figure, or she's some kind of reporter, or whatever she says, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too, which means the cake is this beautiful thing, this beautiful looking cake that you have. If you cut the fucker up and eat it, then you don't have a beautiful cake sitting on your table. When people walk in, they see the beautiful cake. I love coming to this house. You have beautiful cake every time I'm here. Yeah, if I would eat it every morning, it wouldn't be here to please the people that come in. You can't have your cake and eat it too. That's what these people do. They won't admit that they're manipulating the murmur. They're manipulating the violent situation. They're exploiting it. And the exploitation, I've explained many times over. I'll do a very quick one now so that I don't bore the piss out of you. The exploitation is where they bring you in with the murmur, but they try to get your donos and keep your attention by entertaining you with the disrespectful behavior, the bad behavior, the attacking a family member, the lying to you, the spreading of rumors, all of these things that the news can't do, that the media can't do, that a reporter can't do, that a YouTuber can't do. Because again, if these people were allowed to do what they do around tragedies, Dolly included, there would already be bigger YouTubers in that space. But if you go look, they're not. The YouTubers that are bigger in that space have to go by facts. They have to go by evidence. They have to actually be respectful when they're covering a tragic situation. They're not going to start rumor milling around that situation. They're going to go off of what the police say. They're not going to attack Dylan because she survived. They're not going to create conspiracy theories to attack Dylan because they survived. There's a reason why you only see that shit over on TikTok with channels that haven't got that big. Because they get deleted for doing these things. Very obviously, there's a reason why they get deleted for doing it. Right? So they want to have their cake and eat it too. BHB is the one that got the others so mad at him in the first place, lol. I know, but you know what? He didn't call her out, did he? And you know, they can't keep playing that game, right? Where they go, well, Betty is the one who did that. Yeah, Molly, and you had Betty come to your house, stay with you, and you went around doing things and supporting the shit out of her. Don't waste your time on Dolly Vision. Just, oh, I'm not going to, Dad. Oh, I'm not. I'm just bringing in the fact that the tragedy pimping is the thing that got this to happen, the thing that made this happen, by all accounts. The tragedy pimping and the circumstances around the tragedy pimping are, in my opinion, the thing that caused this to happen. We just found out it was a community guidelines violation, right? Tragedy pimping is a community guidelines violation because it is the community guidelines that stop you from being able to clickbait a tragedy, that expect you, if you're going to cover it, to have tact and to be respectful and to not share conspiracies, to not share, if you do share anything, you do it factually and you don't do it in a way that will hype up your audience at a person who's going through the tragedy or affected by the tragedy. You know, these are the rules. These are the reasons that what they've been doing for a long time, people have been standing up against.
If you remember, okay, they paused it, right? It will continue in 30 days when they give it back to me, okay?
So you keep saying that they paused it. You keep saying that it will continue in 30 days when they give it back to you, but you just said you had to appeal it, and people have shown that you have had it taken from you. So you're saying several different things at once. I think I know what's up, though.
Or 15 days, or if they approve the appeal, okay?
Or 15 days, or if they approve the appeal. You can't appeal until 15 days, at least. I think it's 30. Wait. YouTubers who create Amazon wish lists, are those creators required to pay taxes on gifts received for their gift list? I have no idea. You can't ask me that because I don't do my taxes. I have tax people. I got a accountant, so I have, and it would be different. I think each state would have a different determination of that. I think it would depend on the amount, maybe, right? I don't know. That's so hard to answer. I'm listening at work. I can't comment much. Happy Wednesday to you all. Thank you, Rachel. Right back at you. Amazon, no, it's how they skip around it. It's a gift. Says, okay, Amanda. Well, then I need to start using it then, don't I? I'm just kidding. I don't even do that. I don't even think I have a wish list. I think I've had one in the past, long ago. It's definitely not updated. I don't even think it's still there. Let's get through this damn thing.
That's all crazy to say. You know, that's all we can do. So we just follow the rules. We abide by what they say. We do what they say. We're gonna move over here so we have more control. The new, well, it's the old channel. Right. Stuff at some point, you know. So I reached out, like I said, I reached out to YouTube. I wrote my appeal up for it, and usually YouTube.
Okay. Anyway, so again, I can't take anything that this guy is saying as truthful because he is contradicting himself over and over and over. If you just listen to him, he says several different things happen. So I don't know. All I care about, the reason I'm showing you this is because not only was I told that Molly was bugging out before I saw that there was a Patreon post from Molly bugging out, but I was told that in the communities around, and of course you'd expect that when these kind of things happen, there's a lot of people talking and sharing stuff and kind of worried about this, which they should be. You know, when you have a tragedy pimp and that tragedy pimp finally starts to get repercussions from YouTube, you could say, what if it wasn't because of tragedy pimping? Why am I confident that that is a factor in it? Because when YouTube goes in, even if YouTube did what they did to a completely different reason, a manual team at YouTube would have had to have been the reason this happened. And so they're going to see the rest of what's there. So like I always say, when manual teams at YouTube go into channels, the first thing they look at is the deleted videos. because they know that creators, if they break rules, there are two things that guide the manual team. The first is the flags on the channel. How many reports were filed on each video, and where were they filed at, or what were they filed for? And then deleted videos, and were those videos, when they were being deleted, subject to a high number of flags. So regardless of why they looked at Dolly's channel, if YouTube looks at any Tragedy Pimp's channel, in my opinion, they're going to lose monetization at the very least. In fact, I told you guys that most likely they will lose monetization before they'll lose their channels. They'll lose monetization, and then they'll end up losing their channels once YouTube completes the investigation. And I can call you to Nate the Lawyer, one of our friends I've known since he had 5,000 subs, or less than 5,000 subs. He now has like 300 and some thousand subs. And we still talk a lot to this day. And when he hit 100,000, he kind of told us in the Discord server about what he had to go through, what happened when he hit 100,000 with YouTube checking his channel. So I know for a fact that YouTube does still look at people's channels when they hit milestones, and they check to make sure that they're not going to allow creators to have channels grow if that person's breaking the terms of service, violating the guidelines, doxing people, attacking kids, or whatever it may be. Racist content, hateful content, whatever it could be, right? Izzy says, thanks for going over this. All knowledge on these rules helps. Oh, no, you're fine, Izzy. And I wasn't trying. I know that I might have read what you said wrong a minute or two ago. So I wasn't definitely not trying to go at you when I said the guilt by association remark. I'm glad you said that, because it's good that we bring that up, and that because you could have said it for many reasons, right? I took it that way because I do know that I need to make sure that I am explaining why it's not guilt by association. It can be, of course, like I said, but definitely in that Betty and Dolly issue, that's not guilt by association at all. Okay, guys, we've covered this, and it's early. I didn't realize it's so dang early, y'all. So also, when I first started this stream, my vape went out. So I have to go get a vape so that I can come back and stream some more stuff with you guys. I'm not going to go offline right now because I have to talk to you about a couple things before I do. But let's go ahead and do that real quick so I can go get me a vape. So yes, the last stream I did, we got off topic on the Brittany Murphy discussion. We talked a little bit about the mystery surrounding famous rock star and how he passed, Kurt Cobain. We talked about several stories that I've covered for a really long period of time. A couple of them that I haven't even finished my commentary video on that subject, but I have done live presentations on those subjects a lot. And to an overwhelming amount of you guys reached out saying, Uni, we want you to do this kind of content all the time. So I hope that you guys meant it when you said that, because I've been studying. In fact, yesterday, one of the reasons why I didn't stream is because I was going down a few rabbit holes that I haven't gone down in a long time, and I was making sure to get everything arranged in my brain, and I went a little overboard. I was also busy, but I'm just saying. Oh my God, Manda. So basically what you're saying is that he all the time breaks the rules to try to get around things, right? So he shouldn't be shocked that this is happening to him. I don't think he should be shocked. Well, anytime, love to love. I'm not the smartest. Now, I just want to make sure I qualify you guys to why I know some of the things I know about this subject. I've been on YouTube since 2016 making content, and I've used the platform since it started, since the very beginning, because I was using the internet a lot back when YouTube started. You know, I was working in the telecommunications field and also on the internet back when YouTube was dial-up. So, or back when the internet was dial-up. So when YouTube was created, of course, these kinds of websites, I used myself. I just never created content on it. I just watched content. In fact, there were several video hosting sites back then. If you wanted to host a video, you'd have to go to one of those sites to be able to do it, unless you used peer-to-peer sharing. But those videos are typically bigger files, so it wouldn't work that well for peer-to-peer as well. It worked, not as well. Anyway, we're going to be live again here in a bit, but I do want to get back to brass tacks here and get, oh, damn it. I also have to be at the doctor tomorrow for x-rays and other appointments. So we're not going to be late streaming tonight. When we stream again today, it's going to be a little earlier. So, and we're not going to be doing long streams. Well, I'm just glad you guys are here. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I hope that this is the beginning of the tragedy pimps learning that they are going to have to play by YouTube's rules if they want to be on this platform. Because, of course, we all had to learn this the hard way. I have followed YouTube's rules throughout every time period I've been on this platform. I have always wanted to follow YouTube's rules. When I go to a website, I want to use the website how I'm supposed to use it. Now, the thing is, YouTube has updated and changed their rules stricter and stricter and stricter as time has gone on. And we've had to adjust to that and adapt to that. It has completely decimated our channels in the past, regardless of if it should have happened or not. You know, we're doing what we're supposed to do, yet our videos are knocked out of the algorithm where we're making thousands of dollars every week from those videos because YouTube decides, oh, we're going to change these things. So when we see that people like the tragedy pimps come in and they can do things that no other creator is allowed to do while being monetized or even while being on the platform, and they can do it right in front of everyone so egregiously and then sit and say that they're never going to be deleted, they'll never face a consequence. It is nice to see that YouTube is finally starting to give a consequence to tragedy pimps. And let's keep our fingers crossed and hope that YouTube has a team going through the tragedy pimp space so that YouTube, because they're going to end up screwing this platform up for everybody if they keep this shit up. It's just a fact. All right, guys. See you soon. If you can support me, will do. Will do. I will right now, okay? Let me do that really quick because I was just about to actually bring up PayPal and Cash App for you guys one more time. Thank you so much. I loves you and you know it. If any of you can support me, there's the link. You don't have to. I'm just sharing it for those of you that want to. And we'll see you here in a few hours, okay? I do have yesterday's stream already in the video editor, and I am editing clips because you guys want the clips. So that's coming too, okay? See you soon. If you want any kind of content, reaction, suggestions, make sure you get them into us. We are here to make content for you.